Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Obsidian Mindset podcast, where we are redefining what wellness means to you. My name is Joe, aka Joe, the Wellness Curator, and welcome to BTG, aka Behind the Gem. This is basically behind the scenes, where I am going to be sipping on a little bit of libations and really talking about what was going through my mind when I recorded or was writing the first episode or each episode. So I'll be talking either about popular culture or things that are happening on the news or whatever was on my mind when I was going through it. So today, the gem that really got to me, as I'm sipping my Merlot, but really got to me was just, whether we're talking about my wellness journey or doing this podcast, it was just do it, right? Like, for me, I'm such a thinker. I want to plan things out. I want to put it on a calendar. I want to make sure it's perfect. I want to make sure it's clean. I want to make sure it's crisp. I want to do it all. But you just get so stuck. Do you know when I was supposed to originally drop this? Like, not this episode per se, but just this podcast must have been at least 3 or 4 years ago. At least. And, I always had an excuse. I always had something to do. I always had somewhere to be. I always had projects that were more important. But all that, it was just more of me giving myself excuses why I shouldn't do it. Imposter syndrome showed up and was just saying, why are you even qualified? Just go sit down, go do what you're going to do. But it took a lot of persuasion from myself and from friends and family and support system, because this is why a community is necessary as well. But more so myself is just saying, you know what, just do it. Just drop it. Just throw it out there. And if it's not perfect, it's not perfect, but at least you're doing it. And the same thing happens for fitness or wellness, rather. And just like, you just got to start. I know them times we see the goal, especially if we think that we need to be releasing 100 pounds or something really large, and it seems insurmountable just from where you are, right? And you don't even know where to start. You want a tactic, you want a strategy, you want to but sometimes you just got to do, right? The first step might be, for wellness purposes, just drinking more water and going for a walk every day, right? That's not the same as doing a marathon, but it's doing something. It's kicking you off to do something. And after a week of doing that, guess what? You might walk 2 or 3 blocks. You might decide you want to run around the block. You might want to start drinking 4 cups of water instead of 2. So you get the progression. We often are so focused on instant gratification, and this is now applying back to podcast and wellness, that we're saying, okay, I need to hit this. I need to be able to get 1,000 listeners. I need to be able to lose 30 pounds in the first month, right? We set these high goals, these high bars, when, it's just about doing. What was the intention around it? A big thing that I always think about is, what is the underlying intention? And does the underlying intention match the goal? Stay with me for a second. So when it comes to wellness, the goal was to release weight. But the intention was to be healthy, was to be happy, was to be well, right? And then when I'm working with my intention, instead of the goal, if I really focus on that intention, then I can really go throughout this journey and saying, I am doing that. I might not reach the goal yet, but the intentions, I'm doing that now, and I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling happier. I'm feeling more well. I'm feeling better now. So I don't have to wait for the end goal. And it's the same thing with doing these projects or doing whatever passions that you want to do. You might not be able to get to that goal. Let's say you want 1 million subscribers. You might not get that tomorrow. But what's the intention? The intention was to, let's say you're starting a vlog or a YouTube series. Your intention might be to get the 1 million followers, sure. But your intention might be to share your story, share your perspective that's so different that someone needs to hear. And if even one person hears, then you've done your job, right? So this is where we have to start getting more into intentionality, as well as just doing it, just stepping out of your comfort zone and just doing it. So that's going to be my quick behind the gem. I want to make sure it's quick, 5 minutes. So with that, if you have any questions, once again, feel free to hit me up at joe@thewellnesscurator.com. That's my email. And feel free to hit me up on IG at either Defined by Obsidian or joethewellnesscurator.com. Once again, thank you for checking us out and tuning in. And thank you again for picking yourself today. See y'all.